Che bella cosa una giornata e sole. Oh no, tu sei più bella in me. Oh sole mio, stai pronto a te. Oh sole mio, stai pronto a te.
Bentornati tifosi napolitani to another edition of Noi Tifiamo Napoli on the Far From Vesuvius network, and I'm your host as always, Raffa. You can tell there's a little bit of excitement in my voice, right? Because we just did the impossible, seemingly the impossible, but with me is my co-host, my partner in crime, Dan, the man, Russo, my Pisces paisano. What's
Say
up?
it loud. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm all right. You?
I'm good. I'm smooth sailing.
Last episode.
Hey, things happen.
Things happen.
Things
I had
happen.
to go alone. That's fine. So from the last time we spoke to now, I finally figured it out. I finally found out that my father knows your father and your family from the Bronx in the 70s.
I couldn't believe it when you sent me the picture of your father knowing Giovanni Russo, right?
Yes, Giovanni
player
Russo,
for the Cosmos.
former Cosmos player, is your...
Right. So he's not technically family, but I thought he was my uncle. I grew up thinking he was my uncle.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, okay, okay, but I gave him John Russo. Well, he asked me if you were related to John Russo.
Right.
Then you told me your dad's name, and I told it to him, and he said, "Oh shit, was he in a band? Did he play instrument? Was he in the band?" And then when you said yes, he said, "I know who he is."
That's absolutely him. Yep, he's still Pane Cioccolato was the band. It is the band still. They're still going strong for like 45 years, man.
I forgot the name of my dad. My dad had a band. I almost spit out my water. My dad was in a band too. They used to play their band in the basement of his hair salon in Yonkers.
Jesus.
Okay, I forgot the name of the band, but they used to sing that song. Piccolo fiore dove vai?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
that's
man.
the big song for them. Yeah.
Anytime I hear that song, oh my God, I go back to my childhood.
I'm sure my father knows
Maradona
what the band is called too.
87.
But I showed him a picture of your father. He has like a faint memory. He can't really he couldn't tell me. Oh my God, I remember him, but
your dad's name is very unique though.
It's a unique name, Olimpio.
Olimpio. Okay, yeah.
Olimpio. It's like there's two. I tell everybody there's two Olimpios in the world, and I'm related to both. One's my father's, one's my uncle. So,
well, now that that's out of the way, because I know there were a few people like Henry Bell who really was interested in hearing the rest of that story. But now that we've gotten that out of the way, we are not alone, Dan, and they're patiently waiting for us.
Yeah,
they're already waiting because we were supposed to start an hour ago. And due to technical difficulties, which is very normal around here, we're a little late. But
no technical difficulties. Right?
No, never with me especially. There are two guests here waiting. One is a very, very familiar guest. He is Mr. CBS himself, and co-founder of this very Far From Vesuvius network. My brother, Kenneth Cioffredi, Napoli Stats himself. What's up, brother?
Yo, hey, what's up? Thanks for that amazing introduction. It feels good to be, on the airwaves to see most of everyone's faces in our little chat here, Dan.
Dan.
But
thanks, Dan.
Yeah, it's great to be on. Obviously, feels good to be back in the mix, and hopefully my voice will not be, will be much more familiar than it has been recently anyway.
Well, you're back, and that's all that matters. Our next guest is, surprise, guys, she's a Juventina. We do have an enemy territory. She's come into enemy territory. It's like we're doing frenemies again, guys. And if she doesn't know, I'll explain to her. Frenemies is a show I used to do on this network, and where I'd bring people in for pre-matches and a little banter, but really, really always friendly. But now we have you in for the aftermath. Marcella Maruca. Maruca?
Yeah, Maruca.
Maruca. Marcella Maruca. She is the
club leader.
Sorry.
Of Juventus official fan club of Empire State.
My God. And I'm very familiar with you from Twitter.
Yes.
And I never ever knew, and I knew you were affiliated with the club. I knew you were in it, but I never knew that you were the club leader, which I think is so cool. Like very nice to have you here.
Thank you, Raf. Yeah, one of four, but I like to say I'm the Allegri to my president's Agnelli. So.
Well, your smile is much
like
better than Agnelli's.
Oh, thank you.
Agnelli's shit-eating grin, I can't stand it. I don't know how you guys do. I can't stand it.
Wait, Agnelli's smile grin or Allegri's grin?
No, what I say? I meant Allegri.
Oh, you meant Allegri. Okay, yeah. You said Agnelli. That's funny.
What about Allegri's beautiful unibrow? No, not Allegri. Agnelli. I get them mixed up.
Well, I think my brows are better than his too. But yeah, it's great to be on here. Would have loved to have joined you for the pre-match and maybe had a little bit of better banter. But I'm here to break up the party.
Well,
tonight.
you were busy, right? You were on vacay and
yes, I was. Yep, I was. I was on vacay.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was on vacay and then just came home to, deal with this loss.
Did you watch the game in the Dominican Republic?
No. I was back in New York with the club for the match. Okay. Yeah.
And where do you guys? I guess I'm gonna do this now instead of later. Where do you guys? Where do you guys meet up for the club?
We watch at Legends Football Factory.
Oh, Legends, yeah.
Nice. Yep, in Midtown. Nice. We share the bar with a whole bunch of other fan clubs from the English Premier League, Brazilian League, Argentinian League, and then obviously closest to us, the Milan fan club of New York, who we're pretty friendly with. Except of course if it's Juve Milan, and then I typically lose my voice. They lose their voices. And, we have a good time.
Well, you're friendly with them because I'm sure you have a mutual hatred for Inter.
So yes, exactly. Yep. Now, that's nice.
I was at the Serie A watch party at the Montclair State University on Sunday to watch the game, and it was also presented by the Cocha Institute. I want to shout those guys out because they're really cool guys. I met them all, took pictures with them, talked a lot. They have a lot of cool plans coming up. First one, so it was a little, a lot of learning some stuff, getting used to it. But it was a really good turnout. Everybody listening would be happy to know that it was about 80% Napoli fans, 20% Juve fans. But crazy. 3 members of Daniele Rugani's family were there.
That's crazy.
Which is nuts. Yeah, and they were all three ladies that sat in front of us, and at halftime when they announced that, that Rugani had family members here, we all were like, whoa, like that's dope, Were
they visiting or were they here in New York?
I'll tell you what, none of us talked to them.
Oh, I gotta find out about that. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you know what I'll do is I'll get a hold of Jenna with Serie A. And I will ask her if she knows anything about them. I don't really know if she got any kind of that was the extent of it. She just kind of announced that they were there. But I thought that was pretty cool. What was even cooler was when the penalty, we were given the penalty, and everyone's like, oh, definitely a penalty after they watched the. Because I wasn't convinced until we saw the replay, but we'll get into that later. But they turned around and looked at me, and they were like, yeah, penalty. And I was like, wow, that's nice. Because there was one guy behind me like, never a penalty, never a penalty.
Oh my God. See, I can't get behind, people who can't admit to a penalty clear as day when they, we can break down the, those aspects of the game a little bit later, but I will say that that's a penalty every day in my book.
Yeah. It is. But it was really cool to see, that, and, we were there. So I guess I'll go back to Dan. Dan, where were you for the game? Because you weren't with me. So where were you at?
You know where I was? You want to know? Ken, you might know him too. Ando's house.
Yep. You were with Ando.
Ando. Yeah. I was there. Watched it. Had a beautiful Sunday dinner in front of the TV with his family. His mother, amazing person. He has an amazing family. But
well, he's a great
guy too.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, so we watched it there. A lot of screaming at the TV. I almost passed out after Raspadori's goal.
So
I'm not even joking. I'm literally not even joking. I actually had to sit down. It was like
you got that head rush.
I just knew when Osimhen went up. I was just shitting my pants as soon as he went up.
I was shaking. I was shaking. I was like literally shaking when he was. And I think Dan and Ken, and maybe even you, Marcella, which, by the way, I love your name. My brother's Marcello.
Oh, good name.
Marcello, but yeah, very good.
You regained some points there.
I'm about to lose some. Ready? Hold on. Who here, and listeners, you can tweet us and tell us too, at Tifiamo NA_FFV. Who here definitely 100% knew Osimhen was going to either have it miss it.
No, I knew.
I have 100%. And I'll give you a little bit of Juventus insight on this. Szczesny is a wonderful PK saver, especially when it comes to big PK saves.
Okay.
Almost every PK that has been thrown against us against Inter, he saved him.
Okay.
He's incredible. So everybody was moaning and groaning, and I was like, guys, we just got this. Especially
he got in his head for sure.
When I saw that it was going to be Osimhen to take it, not because Osimhen is a bad penalty taker, but the dude just got his foot stomped on.
Yeah, but
what is he doing?
Been pretty bad this season, right, Kenny?
I think you could. A lot of times these players have tells a little bit, sort of like gambling. And whenever they zoom in and you can just see, whenever I see a player doing that deep breathing, trying to calm themselves down, I never feel good about it. He was standing there.
I didn't even know. I didn't even notice that.
There was also a lot of gamesmanship from when the penalty was called until when the penalty was taken. And
including Szczesny. Szczesny
took the ball away, and then you had Bremer there. It was a whole thing.
Patted him on the shoulder. Yeah, he was like,
there were some. These are all things that I would have wanted the Napoli players to do if it was roles reversed.
No, this is not. This is classic pre-penalty gamesmanship, in my opinion. And I knew as soon as everyone walked away and they zoomed in on Osimhen, I was like, "Shit, he's
going to miss it.
100% missing."
I think the whole world.
The master stroke of it all was, and I give this 100% to Calzona because there's obviously something he just talked about in training, and we haven't had a competent manager the whole season so far out of 3. He told them, take 10 yards back or 5 yards back, and when he steps up, you start to move. And they had such a jump on the Juventus players that 3 Napoli players were at the rebound.
It was embarrassing.
Before a Juventus player was even.
It was so embarrassing.
They were so caught off guard. They were certain they were encroaching. That's how clueless they were about what happened.
And to be completely honest, watching the replay, it was almost because I saw 3 or 4 players in particular on that side of where Raspadori was. It was Chiesa, it was Sandro, it was Bremer, and it was Yildiz. Yildiz, forget about him. He was all the way on the other end of the box, whatever. But Chiesa is standing there lackadaisically. Sandro looks like he's kind of ready. Bremer looks like he's ready, but none of them are ready to run into the box. It was almost like they expected Osimhen to make the penalty.
Yeah.
It was like they had given up already. It was so late in the game. It was literally like they had given up. And it's like they didn't even have like any idea of what was going on. Because we were all convinced, like in real time, that there was encroachment. We all said it. We were like, "There's no how do you get there so fast?"
I was actually kind of doubtful that the goal was going to stand myself because just watching it in real time, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're waiting for the shoe to drop, the other shoe to drop.
exactly.
Right?
You're not paying attention to what everybody's
This is
doing.
too good to be true. Yeah, exactly.
No, but it was embarrassing. Honestly, embarrassing.
So, I mean, we're super ahead of ourselves. I wanted to do this whole thing, but that's okay. This is great. We're talking about the game winner. It's fine. It's good. How much of the fact that, like, I mean, okay, so you're watching in real time. I'm not paying attention to the three, including Raspadori behind the Juve players. I'm just focused on Osimhen and the ball, right? But then you see them coming in and you watch the replay and you see what happened and you start to wonder, like, what were the Juve players expecting? They see that clearly they noticed that there's no other Napoli players around them. Like, you see where I'm getting at? Like what? How does it not enter their mind that maybe we should watch out for like a running start from these guys? Because
we had given up already.
Right.
No, okay. I'm telling you, there was
now the giving up. You think it was from fatigue? You think it was just the morale is low? Do you think I guess the question is what the hell is going on? Because there's something going on there.
It looked like towards the end of the game, we looked kind of a little bit lazier, a little bit more like lackadaisical. Mm-hmm. It was, it definitely wasn't like a very convincing 10 minutes prior to that penalty. I would say that we seemed to have a little bit more juice after the penalty because there was like, all right, let's try to get it back. Let's see if we can do something in extra time. Like, let's see. I think we probably had maybe like another one shot on target, maybe another shot off target.
Yeah.
In that time, because I remember feeling like holy crap, we're actually going to do this.
Okay.
But okay. I remember
Rugani had a really good chance.
Yeah, he did exactly. Rugani had a really good chance. That one scuffed, which was a little bit of a disappointment considering what a goal he had. Produced against Frosinone. It was it was a really it was a striker's goal. It was crazy. So I'm really surprised that he scuffed that. But I don't know. I think they expected the ball to go in. I don't know. I think that they were less convinced that Szczesny was going to save it than I probably was at the bar because I said it as soon as everybody started groaning. I was like, guys, Szczesny's got this. There's no way. I was like, there's no way this goes in.
Okay. Ken, we didn't get to where you were for the game. I mean, you're all the way
I was home. I was home and I watched the game at home.
At your TV, yeah.
Literally screaming at the TV. My wife is on the couch.
I know how Ken and Alex get down.
Yeah. She's, shaking her head at me. But she knows the deal. She knows the deal by now.
They know the deal.
She knows the deal. Especially this game, deal. She knows. She knew I was like, listen, you could chill and watch, but you know the deal. So we know that playing. I was like Juventus. She's like, okay.
Yep, super supportive. We know Danny's girl is super supportive too, right, Dan?
Yeah, actually, she's so supportive that she knew that I wanted a Kim jersey last year. And remember that face game shirt that came out? Like they put the faces on.
Yes.
Many people think they're hideous, but to me, I just wanted a Kim shirt so bad. She actually went out and bought me one. So I was over the moon.
I was hoping somebody would get me a Kareem Sedaka one.
Friends just to go to Bayern Munich. That's a tough.
I know.
And for him not to
sit
play
on the
today
bench
against Lazio, that was infuriating. It worked out for them. Lazio are out of the Champions League. I guess we'll bring that up later too. But so we got everybody knows everybody's all supportive. Marcella, you are in a relationship, married?
Yeah, my boyfriend, he's not too big of a soccer fan.
No.
Yeah, no, not too big of a soccer fan, which is ironic because he works for NBC Sports, so he does like all the streaming.
He does. That's
dope.
He
does all the streaming for like the EPL, and he's just like not interested in City. He's not really Italian, so I mean, I guess that's kind of where
it. Where's he from?
He's Puerto Rican. So
cool. Okay. So what's he like then? What is he like?
Knicks, Rangers, Giants. That's it.
There you go.
There we go.
We like to hear it.
No, Knicks,
we do
Rangers,
like that.
Giants.
Oh, and Yankees. Of course, I'm a big Yankees fan. So
I'm actually a huge Mets fan.
Oh my God.
So it's like, you know how you're supposed to be, Knicks, Rangers, Yankees,
the New York
Giants,
or the
New York traditional and the island. Yeah, the alternate. Yeah, I'm a New York traditional, but I'm a Mets fan, and then NYCFC fan.
Well, I mean, the Mets and Napoli, that kind of goes a little bit of
It does. That's a
can't win a title.
10. Well, wait a minute. Slow down. Can't win a title. What is my
yeah, but it took you 32 years to do it.
It did, and it took a long time for the Mets to get back to the World Series.
Yeah.
That was already almost 10 years ago. Wow. Anyway, we're way off topic. So,
but no, my family is pretty supportive. I grew up in a household where we were all different fans of different clubs. My brothers are Inter fans and Roma fans. My grandfather's a Milan fans. But I'm the lunatic of the household. Obviously, I'm the one that goes to all the games in Italy and sits in Curva Sud like a crazy person.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I tell
makes
my
it
mom.
fun.
I know. That's what I tell.
When you go to the stadium, you
the
sit in the curva, and then it becomes embedded into your DNA.
Exactly.
That's what happens.
So I cut a guy's hair who's a huge Juve fan too, and we banter all the time, and we love it. It's so great. But he goes.
I got a funny story for Ken too about it being embedded into your DNA after one time though. So I'll come back to it after you're done. Right?
Really quick, I'll finish what I was saying, and then you guys can do that. But my buddy Marco Di Bello is his name, and he goes, Southern Italian. His wife is from Rome, I think, and he's got family in Benevento, or the other way around. I forgot, but he's a big Juventino, and they go there all the time. As a matter of fact, they're there now. He's going to miss the Italy game here in Jersey because he's there. And I said, are you going to get up to Turin and watch a Juve game, or are they like around, and I didn't know the schedule at the time. And he goes, no, not really. We got the baby and my wife and we can't go up to Turin. I'm like, dude, how do you go to Italy all the time? And he still hasn't been to the Allianz. And I'm like, what is happening here? You're supposed to be a diehard Juventino. What's the matter?
Yeah, you got to get those noise canceling headphones, put them on the baby, and take him to the stadium.
That's right.
So, or let Nonna watch him because I think
the parents are figure it out.
Yeah, you
figure it out.
Figure it out.
Come on, Marco, if you're listening, which you should.
Marco, figure it out, man. Come on,
figure it out, Di Bello.
There's ways to get around it. You can, take a guy's trip or something. I don't know.
Take it. I went for the first.
Take a solo trip.
I took a solo trip.
Yeah.
I did a solo trip. My first game
at the
my first game at the Allianz was the game we lost against Ajax in the Champions League.
Wow, that was your first game at the Allianz?
Yeah, my first game at the Allianz. What I wanted to tell Ken though, which was funny, is that my first game ever was Fiorentina Juve in 2012 when we beat them 5-0. And I was like studying abroad. The only tickets that I could get were like in the Fiorentina curva. And so
gosh.
So I'm in the Fiorentina. I'm dressed normal though. Like I'm not I'm not stupid or anything. I don't go in there with any Juve gear. I just dress like a normal person. But like I'm right next to like the Juve section. And so like I vividly remember like looking onto the Juve section of that game and being like, I want to be with those lunatics. Like that's literally where I'm meant to be. Like that's where I should be. How the hell am I not am I not in there right now?
Yeah, a few years ago, we went to me and a buddy went to Roma Napoli at the Olimpico, and we were set not in the Curva, but like literally the next section adjacent to it. So it's like the wall, and then
exactly
the Curva. But we're on the opposite side from where the Napoli fans were.
Yeah,
and I remember vividly, like late in the game, Osimhen scored, but it was offside, and I like went like this, and I was like, oh shit. Let me just sit back down real quick because I was like, and everyone was like, I was like, oh,
I know. Juve scored 3 goals like behind the goal that I was like sitting in, and I was just like, I was like, I can't believe that I can't even I can't say anything right now. Crazy.
Actually, I have a similar story to Marcella. Sorry, Raf. Sorry.
And then no, you tell yours first, and I'll tell mine.
I used to live in Italy for a year in Tuscany, in Grosseto, and I went to Fiorentina Napoli at the Artemio Franchi, and it went 1-0. But this game, I swear to God, I sat right in the middle of all the Fiorentina fans, actually next to the Curva Fiesole, and oh my God, I actually was really scared.
Yeah, you're scared for your life in there.
Fiorentina fans are no freaking joke. They're absolutely no joke. Those people,
crazy.
The chants that they were making against Naples and Neapolitans, oh my goodness. I contemplated leaving before the game ended because I really felt that we were going to score.
You wouldn't be able to contain yourself.
I don't know if you guys remember this game, but we had like 7 chances in the box alone, like one on one with the goalie. The ball did not go in. It was 2019. I think it was with it was still with Ancelotti. No, it might have been 2018.
I remember that.
It was a 0-0.
19 or 20. Yeah. My story was last season. I have 2 actually. One is really funny. But last season I got hooked up with Bologna Napoli tickets. Michele Borelli helped me with them from getting Napoli tickets.
Fuck you, Michele, by the way.
Michele Juventino. He should be here with you, Marcella. But no, he helped me get tickets for Bologna Napoli. So we took the train up. And not only did we miss our stop for Bologna on the train, but when we got on the next train after, I think it was Reggio Emilia, I don't remember where it was, but anyway, the next stop up, we had to cross and go to the train and take the next train down. We were cutting it really close. When we got on the train, they told us that just to tell them that we were, we made a mistake or whatever, and they would let us go. We got charged triple the amount that we would have if we had to buy. We spent so much money on a train back to Bologna. We finally get to the stadium where none of us have Napoli. My dad actually wore, and it was, this was the penultimate game of the season, so it was hot.
Yeah, it was a draw, right? It was 2-2.
It was a 2-2. Yeah, actually, Bologna scored and made it 3-2, but it was ruled off.
I remember
we were up
got a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, but it was the Napoli section were still.
The title was clinched.
The title was clinched. We had we were champions, but I didn't sit with them, so I sat right to the left. So if you're looking at the how the view at the stadium over there, I forgot the name of it already. Oh my God, Bologna Stadium, the big tower, right?
Yeah,
on TV. If you on TV, it's to the right of the tower. Right, but with us sitting, it was to the right of us too. Anyway, don't wear. I said, hey, don't wear Napoli stuff. Whatever you do, don't wear Napoli stuff. Well, what do I know? I'm in a sea of Napoli fans with all their blue on, and I'm sitting here with this black Italy Euro 2020 shirt.
That's okay, but it's funny if you go to the games. Even when you go to the games at the Maradona, like 90% of the fans really don't wear Napoli.
Yeah,
no
one
black. They wear a hoodie. Like they just wear normal.
No, the Juve ultras are the same. They don't. They don't wear. Maybe they got a scarf on, but otherwise it's like the all black look.
Yeah, I think, and then I was like, man, is this like? an American thing, like the whole crazy dress up in a jersey thing. But I've been to Premier League games as well, and they do the same shit.
You know what? I don't really think it has anything to do with the whole like American thing. I actually think it probably has to do with like the cost of jerseys.
Yes,
I think
100%.
I think the Italians just can't. They can't justify it, which is completely fair. Not ever, over here in America, we're buying a jersey every single season.
Yeah.
My second story was that my dad and my uncle snuck into the Franchi once to watch Fiorentina Napoli, and what they were doing up there, I'll never know. But they went with a couple friends, and they snuck in. They got in, and I think Fiorentina won the game 1-0. And when Fiorentina scored, my uncle got up and started cheering. Like, the way my dad tells the story makes me crack up all the time, but because with his heavy accent, but Fiorentina scored, my uncle got up, started to cheer, and my dad was like, "What the fuck you doing?" And he goes, he realized it wasn't Napoli that scored. He sat back down. It was just one of those stories where if you have to hear my dad say it. It's one of those things. Anyway. To the match, Juventus come in second place, and they really, really could use a win, because if Inter were to win the next day, it's a 15-point lead. They wanted to try to, stay at least with Inter, but Juventus start with Szczesny, Sandro, Bremer, Rugani. Iling Jr. gets a start, Miretti, Locatelli, Alcaraz, and Cambiaso. Chiesa and Vlahovic up front. The midfield is really, really struggling. Injuries, all this good stuff. So, Marcella, what was this pretty much what you were expecting with all the injuries and all that stuff? Or
yeah, no, I would say that for the most part, that's what we were expecting. If anything, I think the biggest surprise, not even a surprise, but more of like a surprise delight, was that Chiesa started. I think a few of us thought that it was going to be Dusan and Yildiz. We still got Keane that is half injured, half not fit. If anything, I think the biggest surprise to many of us was that he started Gatti. He didn't start Gatti, but it turned out that he had like a personal reason why he didn't wind up playing that day. It wasn't really like a tactical change. But no, that was probably the biggest surprise to us, was Sandro starting. But then Sandro had a great game, to be completely honest. It's not he didn't. I mean, I don't want to say great game. Obviously, we lost, but I mean, by Sandro's standards, he
most tackles in the match with 3.
Yeah.
I think the biggest surprise to me from the outside looking in was that Iling Jr. started over Kostic, but that's just an outside perspective. Yeah.
So I'll tell you why. Kostic can't start with Chiesa, especially in this two man attack. Yeah. In this 3-5-2, Kostic and Chiesa can't start the match together, because you have Kostic that obviously stays on the left, and then you have Chiesa that always winds up drifting left. He already kind of has trouble like occupying, that middle space in a 2-man front. So typically it's nicer to see Cambiaso start on that side, but Iling also does the same thing where he can float in the middle if Chiesa decides to drift like too far left. But obviously, because of McKennie being out, you have to put Cambiaso on the right, which is, probably the most annoying thing. I think I probably would have rather just have started Weah on the right and let Cambiaso start on the left, because Iling, he didn't really have a great match.
We use FootMob as our guide for the starting lineups and for the ratings and stuff like that. Alexandro had the most tackles in the match with 3, but his rating was a 6.6. Yet Carlos Alcaraz had the most duels lost in the match with 8. He did get the assist for Chiesa's goal, so
yeah,
maybe
that'll weigh the
him a
score.
7.
Yeah,
exactly.
that'll weigh the score. Yeah, for sure.
But how impressive first start for Juventus? Correct, if I'm correct.
Yep,
I don't know.
you are
Okay, along with Ealing Jr. Right, first start of the season, maybe or
could be. I'm not. I'm
Okay,
actually not
but
too
Alcaraz
sure on
is
the Illing stat. Yeah,
Alcaraz
new
is
guy.
the new guy. How did you feel about his performance?
I think that his ability to attack in the box and, not afraid to, take his shot is great, because I think that's something that we seriously lack in our midfield. I mean, we lack a lot of things in our midfield, to be completely honest, but, having a guy that's not afraid to take his shot and really get in the box is great. I thought he put in, a decent start to the match. Obviously, like you said, most duels lost. I mean, his first start, I think he only had 5 minutes in the last game he played, 5 or 10. So, not too bad. Honestly, I was most impressed with Miretti in the game.
He impressed me too.
He was super impressive. Which is great, because he's probably one of our, youngest Italian guys who we're excited to get minutes, to get his call ups and take his chances. But, I have to say, I really don't think that we played a poor game. I think we had poor finishes.
Right.
But we definitely we couldn't finish. But it's
super
not
unlucky.
Very unlucky.
Not for nothing, but we'll get into Napoli's defense soon. But you guys should have had 5 goals. So.
Yeah, no, I think that it's fair to say that we could have been up 2-1 at the half. Mm-hmm. I don't exactly remember how many chances that you guys missed in the first half to really add to Kvara's first goal, but it could have been 2-1, could have been 2-2. I think that, Dusan got extremely unlucky, which is really unfortunate considering how great of performances he had really been putting in the last couple of games. But, what are you going to do? Our ball movement was good. I couldn't complain, honestly.
I think so too. Honestly, I do. I think Chiesa played a really good game, and Vlahovic was very unlucky. Chiesa was taken off of training a few days before the game, so we were very, we weren't concerned, but I'm sure you guys were. But we were mindful of Chiesa possibly not being in the game or what have you. But he started and he played really well. He got the highest rating of any Juve player. You mentioned Miretti and his 7.1 rating. He created the most chance in the game and completed the most dribbles, so that's cool. Chiesa got the goal, also created, I guess they co-created the most chances with 3. Vlahovic hitting the post once in 6 total shots, 6 shots that I don't think any other were on target. But
he had... I mean, it depends on what you consider on target. You know what I mean? It's like if he just grazed the framework, are you going to call it on target, or are you not going to call it?
They gave that, unless he had a ball saved, which I can't remember at this moment.
He did. He had one saved, but I don't think that was in the first half. I think that was in the second. I think that was in the second.
It was in the second.
Everything in the first was just a complete and utter miss. And if I'm not mistaken, he probably had. I think he had 2. There was one ball at his feet, and then
3. I think there was 3.
There was 3.
Yeah, because he had the header.
He had the header.
He had the chip.
Wait,
because
the header he didn't.
In front of goal.
The header he didn't even get his head on the ball, though. I thought
the header didn't
in the first half.
I didn't think the header. I wouldn't consider the header really a miss. It would have been a crazy header, in my opinion. The other 2 were misses. The chip, where he hit the post, and then the one where he got the one off of our giveaway.
Exactly.
And he blazed it over the bar. That was, I think that was his biggest chance.
Yeah.
He's up by himself, and he actually had.
The chip was.
Was that the mistake by?
The chip was awful.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, I think that's a mistake on Meret personally, but yeah, it's when Traore gave the ball away.
The ball. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Vlahovic could have taken actually another touch, and probably could have just
I just think he couldn't believe it that he had that much time and space.
Yeah,
it was a gift.
Yeah,
it was a
not
gift.
the best Dusan Vlahovic outing.
No, and he's been in form too. He's been out of control.
He has really been in form. So that's another thing to like. Listen, Napoli. We'll get into how we played, but we played very well. I think Napoli did deserve the win, but at the same time, Juve also could have deserved the win.
It was an even match, in my opinion. If it would have been fair, probably.
Sure, dude. The 1-1. If we don't get the penalty and Raffa doesn't score the rebound, I honestly came to terms with a 1-1. To be honest with you, I did, and I think I said it on the way down with my kids in the car. I said. They go, what do you think? I said, I'll take a 1-1, but I think we can win 2-1, which I got the prediction right, which is great. I said to my dad that they were 4-2. But, it was crazy, right? One of those games where either of the three outcomes, the win either way or a draw, would have justified the game.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
But,
it's a mark of a really good game. I mean,
I was just about to say it was probably one of the more exciting matches of the entire season.
I genuinely think that was the best game of the season.
Exactly. That's the best game.
I said to some friends, I said, if a neutral is watching this, they're very entertained.
Exactly.
This is a bad advertisement for Serie A.
And it was just a very high-level game, too. Tactically and technically.
Thank God, because if this game happened 2 months ago, it would have been.
Oh, man.
Well, here's the thing: if the game happened for you 2 months ago, it would have been a wash. Oh. If this game would have happened even 3 weeks ago for us, I think we win. I think we win it.
That's true. That's very, very true. I'm looking a real idiot by wanting to keep Mazzarri at this point. Mind you, I really am, and I will concede
about that. Yeah.
I will concede to all of the Twitter haters and even to Kenny underneath me here. I give up. The decision was correct, 100%.
But to be fair, right? To being pro Mazzarri, I'm saying for you, you got this new Calzona. He's coached how many games? 2? 3. You're still 3.
This was actually his. No, this was his fourth.
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 So you're still kind of in
the third in Serie A. Yeah.
Okay. Fourth. Right. Exactly. Because his first game was
Barcelona.
Was Barcelona
2 days after he was hired. That's what really pissed me off.
That's
crazy. What worried me.
You needed to shake it up though.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. No, you're right. And you know what? Bravo ADL, because
listen,
I can't.
If we want to know how bad,
I can't with that. I can't with that, Raf. I can't.
If we want to know how bad it was under Mazzarri, he never won. He came in November and he left in February, and he didn't win 2 Serie A games in a row in that whole stretch. Not once. Not one time.
No good.
So.
I think there was a joke. There was a joke that Napoli scored more goals in the Sassuolo game than Mazzarri.
Okay, so what's funny is we played 3 Serie A games and we have actually scored as many goals under Calzona as we did under Mazzarri.
That's
in Serie A.
That's an insane stat.
Fucking insane.
But look, we had like a million injuries during that time, and I guess that definitely could be a factor. But I always like to say you could tell how well a coach is getting in the heads of the players and coaching the players, how well he's doing by how well the team plays with all the injuries. I was going to say it's not just the results, it's the performances. Right, it's the performances, and just the performances were never there. I think maybe like one game.
Yeah, the Atalanta game, because they were just excited to be without Garcia.
The new coach bounced. That's really all it was,
But what's insane is, and we brought this up last week, Danny, right, is that the only – oh, no, I brought it up on Serie A Sit Down, is that
Shout out Serie A Sit Down.
Yeah, my boys. The only really good performances that we had were – besides, when Calzona came in, we're all under Garcia, yet we still couldn't stand him. There was something about the guy that just didn't work out, and it had to be done, but
the players obviously didn't like him.
I mean, for me, it was
stupid decisions.
Right.
So stupid.
For me, it was always the defensive organization. This whole season, it's been our defensive organization as a unit. Has been an atrocity. You know,
but how much of that falls on the back of ADL, and yet everybody always stands besides him.
You're right. No, listen. You're right. You're 100% right, and I concede. And I don't know if you know this by seeing my tweets, but these guys know I'm so pro ADL, it's nuts. But I will give him, what's the opposite of flowers? What's the saying? I'll give him his, I don't know.
You know?
Yeah, of course. But I mean,
I have no idea what you're
cool,
talking
catchy
about.
way to say
I have no
idea. But listen, I will give him his shit if he needs it, and he needed it. This season was totally his fault. But when
he said it as well. He straight up said it.
He did, but like, and maybe that made it easier for me to say it too. Honestly, if I'm being honest, but when you look at it, you know, it's okay. You know, listen, we got rid of one manager.
It's been a comedy of errors to this point. There's no way to sugarcoat it.
No,
this is my personal point of view on this, based on not having any insider information at all, is that he was so sure that Spalletti would be back, and then he wasn't, and it just threw him into some kind of egomania, and he was like, fine, I'll just get a guy who does 4-3-3 and has been in Serie A before, and we're just going to take it to the next level. This is similar. Obviously, it's a different level of coach. I'm not comparing Rudy Garcia to Carlo Ancelotti, but it's ADL has a spurned lover side to him, where when Sarri left, and Sarri was, you know, the belle of Napoli, and, you know, he saw him getting a lot of headlines. When Sarri left, he was like, fine, I'm going to get Carlo Ancelotti, and we're going to show your ass how good we can be without you. And we all know what happened. And the same thing happened this to a much greater extent, because you're coming from higher highs and you're going to lower lows, right? With Sarri, you went from a second place to like fourth, fifth, sixth. And with this, you're going from first to 9th or 10th, or whenever we bottomed out. You know, that finally, I don't know who got it. I mean, I think Mazzari said it after like 2 weeks. It was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm here as a favor.
No, Mazzari, that's the thing with Mazzari, is that he never knows what he's doing. He never knows what he's doing. He didn't know what he was doing at Inter when he went back over there. He honestly,
Mazzari and Sarri had their best years at Napoli, honestly. And then after listen, Sarri goes to Chelsea, wins Europa League, finishes third. You know, it's not his fault these guys can't score in front of net. Goes to Juve, wins the Scudetto, but Ken could have won the Scudetto with the team they had.
Oh, come on. That's not fair.
Listen, the team they had, come
fair.
On. How? Actually, it might not be fair. I think COVID had a lot to do with Juve winning that Scudetto, because Lazio were on such a run that year, and then COVID stopped everything.
COVID break just threw off the momentum.
COVID break killed Lazio's momentum, lost them a Scudetto, and won Napoli a Coppa Italia because they really was a regroup, which is crazy.
To be completely fair, right? If you think that anybody could have won a Scudetto with Juve that year, then what's the difference between Pirlo coming in the following year after Sarri with relatively similar squad? You still got Ronnie, and you can't win the Scudetto. So I don't know if it's completely fair to say that anybody could have won the Scudetto with Juve that season, and you don't really give a ton of credit to Sarri.
Marcella, I don't necessarily agree with Raffa's statement there, but I'm going to play devil's advocate here. All right. Do we remember that Inter team that won the Scudetto that year? In Pirlo's year? Hakimi with Conte, right? Hakimi, Lukaku. Lukaku. That was a different Lukaku.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't think even if Sarri had stayed or whoever might have been, I don't think anybody had a chance that year.
Okay,
it's like this year.
Yeah. And Anyway, we move on from Mazzarri, who still holds a near and dear place in my heart because of the great years he gave us under Cavani.
And he should, but now he should just be at home.
Yeah, true. I mean, listen, when people say things like, don't even let him back in the city, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That's people just being
when people say that ADL set us back 5 to 10 years, clearly he hasn't.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
The guys who say that said it 5 years ago, and they said it 10 years ago.
Yeah, sure.
They said it 8 years ago, and
we hit the ceiling and then we won the Scudetto. ADL.
If you say something every year forever, eventually you're.
So my dad, every year, Napoli gonna win the Scudetto this year.
Yeah,
Napoli win the Scudetto.
Yeah, finally, probably said it for 30 years, and it was
broken
clock is right.
The first year, the first year he doesn't say it. My dad did not say that the year we won the Scudetto. He said, maybe Champions League, but we're not going to win the Scudetto. We lost all these guys, blah, 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 blah. It's hilarious.
I mean, it was crazy. We did lose a lot of guys.
Crazy. Yeah. Danny, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, we spoke about it on the pod the last time that I was here, and, how many times have we missed out on Champions League, but then the next year we came back and we were actually like fighting for the Scudetto?
Because you reinvest in the team. People say
really all it takes is having a good coach and a good transfer market.
Yes, you have to.
We don't spend money, Dan.
No,
and a good coach, a good transfer market, and a Juve scandal. If I might add it.
Absolutely,
sure,
100%.
Absolutely. So anyway, Napoli.
I mean, some might say those happen often enough anyway, so you might get them fairly often.
But a good scandal. But Marcella, they were nowhere near us, even with the scandal.
No,
you mean the scandal from last season, right?
Yeah, the scandal from last season. I'm not saying that you guys didn't go on a tear. I'm not saying that all of the hard work that Spalletti put into that team, isn't warranted. If anything, I love what Spalletti did with you guys. I love what he's doing with the national team right now. I'm just saying that you guys had an easier time to run away with it when we're cut off at our ankles. You know what I mean? I mean, we did come in. We came in second place with if we had the points.
Distant.
No, you would have been tied for third with Inter. It was 10 points, right?
10.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, listen. Before the 10 points got reduced, we were already up by 10. After the 5-1.
Yeah, and that's fair. But the thing is that you can close the gap on 10 points.
Yeah, I mean, even if you give them the 10 points back, we would have been 18 points ahead. So
you didn't have to look over your shoulder. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
we didn't have to look over your shoulder.
We didn't. We were that dominant. We were
exactly.
that dominant.
Yeah, that dominant.
5-1, Marcella.
After the 5-1, the season was over.
Listen. What?
Listen, I'm not saying that. I'm saying a lot of Napolitani have short memories. In 2012, I was in Italy when we wiped you 4-0. That was.
I don't remember this. I really don't. I honestly don't remember 2012 4-0. When was that?
I'll pull it up. It was in the spring of
2012.
It was in 2012 because I was studying abroad in Italy, and
Napoli 4-0.
I'm 100% sure because I bet on the game. I was in there with my little Schiedina.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna pull it up. Napoli.
While you pull it up, I'm gonna change the subject and then you can come back to it. Meret, Di Lorenzo Rachmani, Jesus Oliveira, Anguissa, Lobotka, Traore. Boom. Love Traore. Politano, Osimhen, and Kvaratskhelia, even though Traore made a few mistakes.
Yeah, it wasn't a great game for him.
Wasn't a great game.
But
Football
it's okay.
gave him a 7-3.
Okay. Yeah, fine.
He did. I guess there's a 3-way tie for most chances created with Traore in there too at 3. Juan Jesus gets the nod. Rachmani gets injured. Lobotka played really, really well, I think. So did Kvara, man of the match. Osimhen was pretty quiet. He had the least touches of any outfield player to play 90 minutes. Politano got a 7-2.
It was a straight up war between him and Bremer the whole game.
Was very, very much.
War.
He was kind of preoccupied with it, I think.
Yeah.
But it was fun to watch, man. It was so fun to watch. Back and forth between the two of them. That was really fun. Kvara player of the match with a star 8.3 rating. Most fouled player in the match 5 times. Scored a goal. Won most duels in the match with 8. Is Kvara really back under Calzona?
I mean, for me, probably. I mean, so the biggest issue with Kvara, well, there's been 2 issues with Kvara, and I think they're linked together. One is, if you've noticed this whole season, he's been completely isolated on the left wing. Normally, you have Rui or your left back, or oftentimes your midfielder who's closest to him. So in this case, it would be Traore. Interplaying with him, making overlapping runs, trying to occupy another defender close to him. Also, having Osimhen back is a huge part of this, because you can't focus all of your attention on Kvara because Osimhen is your striker. But just having that interplay, and the fact that Mazzari and Garcia couldn't figure this out, and Calzona knew this. I mean, obviously he's familiar with the team, but he knew he wasn't here last year when Kvara was here. He recognized right away, I have to figure out a way to get this guy back into the games, because he's our most influential player that's not Osimhen. And it's happened. And it's boosted his confidence, and then he scored a great goal. He had a chance earlier in the first half, too, that I thought he was going to score.
Right.
But his confidence being up shows. I mean, the last 2 games especially have been pretty good. His second problem has been that he's been selfish a little bit this year. But I think part of that is a symptom of, 1, us not scoring any goals. So he feels like he has to do it all himself. And 2, the lack of support on the field, so he feels like he has to do it all himself. But I'm hoping that with Calzona and the way he's been playing the last couple weeks, that we can start to build off of that momentum. And you can see the chemistry him and Osimhen have together.
I found the
really
game.
Do. God, what was it? Go ahead.
It was 3-0, not 4. 3.
That sounds more like
3-0.
it. Because Napoli haven't lost. I don't think. Well, was it in Turin? Yeah, right.
No, I don't. I think it was in Naples.
3-0 in Naples. 22.
I remember this game. Zuniga got a red card. I remember that.
There was a red card. No, actually,
Super Copa, was it?
No, Quagliarella scored as well. I remember this game.
Yeah, Vucinic, Vidal, and Quagliarella.
Yeah, that was in Torino. No, I was in Torino.
You're right, it was in Torino.
Because I don't remember Napoli losing like that in Naples to Juve. As a matter of fact, Napoli rarely lost like that in Naples, because I think the last season's 4-0 loss to Milan was one of the worst losses at home in the ADL era. So
yeah,
I think the worst we did against Juve. I think the worst we did against Juve at home was that 3-1.
Oh, the day Pino Daniele died.
Yeah, Pino Daniele.
Was it the day he died, or was it the?
No,
it was right after.
Yeah, it was right after the crazy goal.
That was sad because everyone's singing Napoli from Pino Daniele, and them coming out, I was like, we're gonna kick their ass so bad, and we got our fucking ass kicked.
We were terrible, and they were.
We were so bad.
No, but this is like Benitez out of Napoli and fucking Super Juventus. Come on.
Yeah, they were the second best team in the world that year.
That's right.
That was when they had Pogba, right? They had Pogba.
That was Champions League final Juve, wasn't it?
Yeah.
15. Yes.
Yeah.
They started Pirlo. Yeah.
I mean, I still think they probably could have won that game against Barca if they get that penalty, but I mean,
yeah.
All right.
No, Marcella, that was back when I was anti-Juve, except for when they played Spanish teams. Now I'm anti-Juve.
No, honestly, I actually went hard for Juve that year in the Champions. I did not care if they won that. I would have been really happy. Honestly,
you know, for me, what it was, I at the time, I didn't want Messi anywhere near Maradona status. Now there's nothing you can do about that. and then 2, in 2017, I can't stand Cristiano Ronaldo, and I hate Real Madrid just as much. So and that was when the Juve fans got trampled I think in the Piazza in Turin, and I was like really feeling terrible about.
So funny, funny story. My grandfather and my brother were supposed to be there.
Oh no! Wow.
My grandfather and my brother were in Italy for that Champions League final, and my brother was like, "Oh my God, like how cool would it be if we just jumped on the train and went to the big piazza and watched the Champions League final in Torino?" I'm like, "Robert, if it was like you and me, like yeah, like maybe we could do that, but like you're gonna go with an old man. And my grandfather could hardly walk at that point. I'm like, you think there are gonna be chairs where he's gonna be able to sit? I'm like, you're gonna like, you can't do that. He's like, all right. Bad. Yeah, no, it would honestly, it would have been so bad. And when I heard about that, I was like,
I gotta say, we have hearts, right? I mean, that was really bad.
It was sad.
Like I was seeing some like Neapolitans posting like, "Oh, good, they got what they deserved," and this and that, and I was just like, "Absolutely not!
No, with that nonsense.
No way.
Yeah, no.
Like I don't hide my disdain for Juventus FC, but players.
We're talking about people,
people, the city of Turin. Like that's not something I can subscribe to.
It's hypocritical at that point, right?
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Absolutely. You're right. We're all fans of Italy, the national team, this and that. Serie A. We all
sometimes
want Serie A to do well. Well, yeah. Are you okay? Sometimes what?
No, like sometimes when the FIGC when the FIGC isn't trying to like screw us over, then I'm a fan of the Italian national team.
Screw who over? You?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Come on.
It was hard. It was tough. It was tough last year. It was tough last year.
Marcella, this is a hard sell over here.
It's a very hard sell when the referees wear the net insurance.
I knew you were going that way.
And you're not going to say the same thing about Inter this year? Did you see?
No. The penalty kick against Genoa should never have been a penalty kick. That game should have been 1-1.
And how many handouts have they got this year?
That's fine. No. Listen, that's fine. Inter is a darling for sure. Like so much so that Paramount Plus decided to throw their hat in their game, and they came out with these dope Ninja Turtle jerseys that I'm like really jealous for. Like if I were an Inter,
it's got nothing on the lips. It's got nothing on the lips kit. Sorry.
No, the lips kit.
Which one? The what?
Oh, Valentine's Day kit.
No.
The best kit of all time. What are you talking about?
The greatest kit of all time. I didn't
get that. Only Francesco has.
And it's Mario Rui too. He had to get a Mario.
Oh my goodness, that kid is.
You know what's funny? I was in Naples when they wore those jerseys because they wore them in the Coppa Italia
against Cremonese,
and I was like, "It's my last day. Am I gonna go? Am I gonna go to the game? No. There's not gonna be as many people there. Blah blah blah. One, we wore those horrible kits, and two, we lost. So I was like,
I hate wearing alternates at the Maradona San Paolo. I hate that shit.
We would say the same thing when we start wearing the third kit at home. I'm like, you guys put on.
Well, with Napoli, it's like, are we going to wear our 8th kit at home? Are we going to wear?
Yeah, I know. What are you guys trying to do? You're home.
I mean, this year we haven't really done it.
Trendsetters. We're trendsetters.
True. This is true. Yeah, the lips are only the beginning.
Milan have new kits. Yeah, the lips are the beginning. We have Milan now made these kits by whatever that is over there. The
streetwear.
The streetwear kits. Yeah.
No, but Milan and Juve do that often. They do the 4th kit with like a special collab and everything. With a special brand. You guys got no special. You guys got no special brand friends. So I mean, you got lips on your kit.
Well, listen. We also
you got Radio Kiss Kiss. That's all you got.
Here's a special one.
That Halloween one, awful.
What?
That one's sick.
That's awful.
The Batman's the best. The bats are the best one.
It is nice. I love the bats.
The bats are the best.
The bats were the best one from last season.
Yeah, sick.
You guys are crazy.
You gotta have fun with them.
Oh my god!
That's why the lips are great. Listen, who else wants to do denim again? I'm down. Let's do it.
I loved it.
I loved it. That was a good hit.
You know which ones I really liked?
Come on,
the Europe ones.
Come on.
Where is it?
Come on.
There it is.
The camo, baby.
I like the first camo one we had in
No, but those are fine. I'm talking about the ones with the holidays and the Halloween and the Valentine's Day.
I mean, listen, the reindeer one was crazy.
Yeah, oh my god, the reindeer one.
Amazing.
Oh.
Dope.
It's so bad, it's great. Like someone was like reindeer clip art.
Part of the kit right here.
I know that isn't that such a nice little thing.
It's a
I've had that on my jersey probably like 33 different times.
It's a game changer. Let me ask you this, Marcella, and then we'll talk more about
ask me.
If we want or other things. But
we're off the rails. We're just chatting.
That's fine. I'm fine with it. Serious question. The Scudetti now, like I noticed this on the Juve, one of the last couple of Juve kits that they wore Scudetto for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how like it's like I noticed I'm like, oh, it's not the same Scudetto as the past. It's part of the shirt and it's like it just looks smaller and I'm not really feeling it. But when you really look into it, right now, the Napoli symbol, the N, is embossed in the Scudetto. Same thing with the Milan from last season and the Inter from the season before. Did Juve have that on their jersey too? Did it start with one of the Juve Scudetti where like you can clearly see Napoli's N? I don't know if I'll try to get you to take a look.
No, I see it.
You see it there? Yeah, I thought someone said, I think it was Dan Bowen, was like, oh, we're the first ones to do it. And then I was like, nah.
No, we're not. Yeah, no, we're not.
Milan had it last season because I looked it up and saw it. But
I would have to.
How's the jersey collection, Marcella? Let's see.
I mean, I have a couple. I do have a couple here. The only thing is that I have a couple of kits that I decided not to get the Scudetto on it because I like to wear the kit like as like a more of a fashion kind of a thing more than like a state like a soccer statement. So I don't know if I have any of my kits with with the Scudetti on.
Got it. See,
not to mention we had some trash kits those years.
Lately,
trash.
The home kits have been.
Can we talk about the home kit this year for Juve? It's horrible.
And listen, I will admit this to the day
tire tracks or whatever the.
That was from last season. The tire tracks. This year's
the
wolf, right?
No.
The sheep.
They weren't tire tracks. They looked
like tire tracks. It was a Jeep.
I'm like Jeep. Vroom.
No. It was like kind of like the architectural lining, like a blueprint of like the arch at the stadium.
Well, so that's.
Oh, this year it's like the hair one. It's like hair.
It's like the hairy like beast one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one is this one's pretty bad. Honestly, the ones with the little diamonds that you're calling tire tracks, that one grew on me.
Okay.
Actually.
Well, there's meaning behind it too. So like I'm fine with that.
It's lost on me. The meaning was lost on me. So but
you guys are Napoli fans. What are you going to care about like the special intricacies of the Juve kit?
I'm very interested, like what you said really kind of hit me with, not wearing a Scudetto on the kit, because I would always usually be like, what? They won the Scudetto that year. Why isn't there a Scudetto on his kit or her kit or whoever's kit? And like, I remember the days where like sometimes the kits would come with the Scudetto like separate off it, and you can put it on yourself if you want.
You also have to remember, because I mean you guys aren't working with like Adidas or Nike as your sponsor, but like if you shop at Adidas,
they won't be on it, right?
They're not going to be on it. The only way that you're getting the Scudetto on your kit is if you're buying it from the kit. If you buy it from like Juve's website, which a whole bunch of us started to do, just so we're not giving Adidas more money than they need, and you just shop directly from the Juve store.
That's why you got to do what ADL did now, what Barcelona is actually starting to do, because Barcelona looking for ways to make money, because and we had our Barcelona guy. Yeah, right. We had our Barcelona guy on here saying that their financial is a lot better than it was before, but another way to save money is to cut out the middleman when it comes to the distribution. And it's a pretty freaking genius decision. And a lot of people, ADL caught a lot of hate about it because, we're not a traditional, Nike, Adidas, Puma, Kappa, whatever anymore. And we're doing in-house distribution, and it's paying off, and it's rubbing off into Europe. You guys have won so many Scudetti, though, that like when you have 1 or 2 or 3 kits with a Scudetto on it, I'm sure like it loses a little bit of the luster.
No, I wouldn't say that it loses the luster. I think that I honestly think it comes down to the kit. If you got to pay an extra $10 to put it on the kit when you're on the Juve site, instead of it just being like ready for you, sometimes you're like, what am I gonna buy it on the Juve store if I could get it a little bit cheaper on Adidas USA? And then so what? I don't have I don't got the Scudetto on it. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't buy a ton of jerseys anymore. I'm a huge lifestyle wearer. I wear a Juventus sweatshirt in my house almost every day of the week.
Right.
I've got
swag like you've got
exactly like sweatshirts, the track pants, the t-shirts, like that's what I buy. If I really like a jersey, if I really like a jersey, then I buy it. Like I really liked the away one this year, and so I bought it.
So one of the things I was going to say is that like while I can't stand Juventus, Juve kits usually I'm just like, wow, dude, like I wish Napoli made something like that, because there's a lot of Juve, like you said, third away or third kits that really are like, and I'll admit, when I was a kid, when I was younger, I used to buy all kits. Like I used to buy Milan, Inter, Juve, Lazio. I had a Roma kit. I had a Samp kit. I had a Brescia kit. I had I had a bunch of different kits. Of course, I had my Napoli collection. Like it was like a Napoli collection, and then off to the other side was regular, Italy Serie A stuff, right? And I remember I had the Juve kit that was all white with the fast web on it.
Oh yeah,
that was the summer that they came to the United States, and we went to go watch Juve Barcelona. So what was I going to do? Where I should have wore a Napoli kit, but I'm there to go see Juve and hope that they win. So I wore that kit.
Oh, see, you're better than me, because when Milan played Real Madrid, I wore a Real Madrid jersey.
Well, okay. Well, do you like Real Madrid?
I mean, I was a huge Ronaldo Kaká fangirl. So I mean,
gotcha.
I can't. I wasn't going to put a Milan kit on. That's for sure.
No. But I'll admit, I'm not ashamed to admit that. And then like later on down the line, when there was this one year where any team that beat Juventus, I would buy their kit. So wow. I remember I already had an Inter kit, and then I bought a Cagliari kit because I think that was a year. I think Cagliari beat Juve. Or it was either Cagliari or someone else. Might have been someone else.
So you went to being a mild supporter to being extra spiteful.
No, I went from being a frustrated Napoli fan who were in the doldrums, drawing 26 games in Serie B the year that there were 6 teams on offer to be promoted because we were changing to 20-team league, and we finished in freaking 16th. Out of 22 teams, and then we watched Serie A every Sunday on Rai International, and I had to pick like a team or players to support just to keep my sanity and like to be interested in watching. You know what I mean? Like put yourself in my.
It was pretty bad from like the mid 90s till we came back.
Put yourself in my shoes, Marcella. Like Juventus and Napoli swap places, and Juventus are like just you're in Serie B for so many years, and you're like, then you're bankrupt, right? I think the bankruptcy really
you have no
really
club.
affected me bad.
Yeah,
bad. You're trying to keep the passion for calcio alive, because to watch Serie B is so difficult. Like, it was already hard enough to watch Napoli. To watch Serie B was like almost impossible.
Yeah.
And you just want to keep plugged in. You still love Italia.
Yeah, of course. You watch, of course.
Right. But then my cousin and I, we got into kit collecting, like big time. Like we were like scouring eBay and like, just other websites to try to find any kit we could get our hands on. So I had a yellow Inter Vieri jersey. I had a Maldini. I would get players I like. So I had the Del Piero white, Juve kit. It was just to represent Serie A. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I probably know where one of those kits are now. But it was a tough time.
You find that Del Piero, you find that white fast web Del Piero. You let me know if you wanna.
Oh, I'll give it to you.
If you want to sell it, let me know.
I'll give it to you free if I find it. I don't know where it is.
If you find it,
it's yours. Actually, anything I have like Juve related, I might have one other kit somewhere. I have a sticker in my toilet if you want me to pull that
out. Oh, no, I could get that over at Song in Napoli, no problem. Don't worry about that.
See, a lot of Napoli fans I know buy the Juve toilet paper.
Yeah.
My fiance got me put a Juventus sticker in my stocking one year for Christmas, and I pulled it out, and I'm like, it was early in our relationship too. I pulled it out in front of the kids, and I said, "What is this?" And she goes, "Oh, it's for the toilet." I said,
"No way,
brilliant!" So we put it in the toilet.
That's awful.
And it taught my youngest son Paulie how to pee in the toilet.
Oh wow! I
pee
mean,
on Juventus.
You love to hear it.
Don't you?
Not too sure about that one.
So Napoli beat Juventus 2-1. In case you guys didn't know, So Napoli next play Torino on Friday. The weekend also saw Bologna come from behind and beat Atalanta, which means Napoli are now 4 points behind Roma for 5th place, which should be a Champions League spot this season. Lazio didn't do a lot to help matters out by losing to Bayern Munich, although I won a nice pretty penny on that.
Ooh, did you?
I did. I'm going to run through my bets in a minute. But Napoli are 4 points behind 5th, which, like I said, could be a Champions League spot. Might be. Guys, are we confident that Napoli could finish in 5th? Do you think Napoli could even catch Bologna in 4th? We have to play them. We have to play almost everybody that's ahead of us now.
It's too early to tell for me. For me, anyway. I think we have the best chance that we've had to have a decent run of games under Calzona than we had under Mazzari or Garcia. But we have. I think the next month is really going to show us where we are, because we have Friday. We play Torino, and then we play Barcelona in Barcelona for the Champions League. I know it's not at the Camp Nou. I know they're at the Olympic Stadium because they're doing renovations in the Camp Nou. Blah, 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 blah. Barcelona fans, don't at me because they're not really at home, but you understand what I'm saying. Then we play Inter away the week after, and then we play Atalanta at home the week after that. Well, after the international, coming out of the international break.
Well, so Atalanta aren't doing that hot lately.
No, and we've already beaten them, but
we've beaten them.
Gasparini takes personal pleasure out of beating us.
Yeah.
So,
Danny, how are you feeling?
I think it all hinges on this Friday's match, to be honest. Like Ken said, we have really, really tough schedule coming up, and that's
lost Torino Inter 3-0 already this year.
That was maybe our worst game of the year. That game was horrendous.
Really? It wasn't the Inter game?
No.
Because an Inter is ridiculous.
I know, but they stomped on you.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree either. Napoli had such a good first half, and
the scoreline wouldn't suggest that.
It was only 1-0 in the first half.
That was definitely, out of all the games this season, I think that was definitely If we lost 1-0, it would have made more sense, but the 3-0 was way out of proportion for the way.
Out of our losses, I think that was one of our better performing losses.
In Serie A, the worst game of the year was Torino. In my opinion.
No.
We offered absolutely nothing.
We were abysmal.
100%. That was terrible.
And that was coming out of the Testa Alta after Real Madrid, too. Oh, look at the fight of Mazzarri, blah, 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 blah. And then after that game, I was like, it is over. Over.
It's just one of those losses that, honestly, I think he actually wanted to resign after that game.
He did. It was horrible.
So, yeah.
And Adio was like, not yet, pal.
What are your thoughts on this Club World Cup, though?
I love
it. You think you're gonna put in the result to be able to make it?
That's funny because I was gonna ask you what you feel about it. That was one of my things. I was like, I'm
about to get my Barcelona jersey out, and I'm gonna go down to hang out with the Barcelona club, and I'm gonna start I'm gonna do a little.
That's nice.
Wrist flick.
If we can't be Portugal without a De Jong or a Pedri and all these guys that they're missing, like, come on.
Yeah, and the fact that they're playing like absolute shit.
I will be the slight detractor and say getting a Champions League result in Barcelona is going to be a really big
absolutely
100%. We have to win. It's not like 100%. We didn't win at home. We have to beat them in Barcelona.
All I'm really saying is, like,
we have a chance.
Ever a time that we should win the game in Barcelona against Barcelona, it's now. Like,
sure,
it will never be better. There will never be a better chance to do it than now.
Agreed.
The situation definitely. Listen. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If Roma can pull out a result against Barcelona,
sure.
Right?
Yeah, but they were in Rome.
That was in Rome when they.
They weren't. They were in Rome, but
they got smacked in Barcelona. Bad.
They did. They did get smacked.
Okay, but so my Gil, who everybody should know by now, is my barber partner at the shop and a Barcelona fan, but also a Napoli fan. He is convinced Napoli is going to destroy Barcelona. He's convinced. Destroy. That was what his literal words were. Because as soon as I saw him Monday, right, I said, yo, Pedri and De Jong, he goes, we're going to get destroyed. Napoli's going to destroy us. And that's coming from...
I'm apprehensive of ever thinking... there's something behind, like, the allure of playing Barcelona in Barcelona.
History will damn us.
I will never say, like, we should destroy them. I know it's coming from him, and Barcelona fans are not having a good year, so I think they probably think in their mind anybody could come in and beat them. But Napoli fans, obviously we're having baby steps in the right direction under Calzona, but we are not having a good season at all. We're our third manager of the year, and we've been.
I agree.
Like, what we're considering like good right now would have been easily our worst last year. So, like, we have to sort of like temper the expectation. Like, Barcelona fans' expectations would be like, fucking Coventry City would come in here and destroy us, and ours is like we should beat them. But the reality is, it's a really hard ask, but we might have a decent chance of being close.
I'm like half and half with you, Ken, because I know that I know that like I said, the history of us in Spain, even like the last time we won in Spain, like in a European tie against a Spanish team, was that 5-0 that Henry Bell always talks about, the Fonseca 5 goals in. I think it was it Valencia. I think it was Valencia back in like 1993 or 94. And it was like, so we couldn't even beat Granada over 2 legs a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we like beat a Spanish team in any of these competitions, I think might have been, well, maybe not true, but like we beat Villarreal twice, I think, in the Champions League.
Oh, well, yeah. No, that was in a group
stage.
But
in a knockout,
yes, right. We did. No, you're right. We did. We beat Villarreal in the group stage with the Giuseppe Rossi too. Remember that Villarreal with Giuseppe Rossi?
Good team.
And there was another good player on there. Anyway, Ricama. That's right. So, the Club World Cup. I don't really subscribe to ADL saying that there should be an investigation into Juve even having an opportunity to be at the Club World Cup. Because
thank God, some sense.
No. I told you I love the guy, but these are the reasons I love him. Like, I love him, and I get angry with him because of his words. Like, some of them are just so out there that it's like you have to laugh. It's kind of like Donald Trump, right? Like, he says a lot of crazy shit, and you have to laugh. But then there's some times where it's like, okay, maybe you went a little too far there, right? But in my opinion, Juve have absolutely the right to be there, because one season that they messed up on with the booking and all that, and I'm sure it's probably over a few seasons, but they were punished last. Let me finish. They were punished last season for it, and UEFA chose not to punish them. They took the out in the Conference League to settle it. So why should FIFA punish them? And it's an aggregate.
That was punishment. I wouldn't say they decided not to punish us. They decided they punished us, and they kicked us out of European competition for a year. That's punishment.
Wasn't it a thing where, like, you're right, they did punish them because they said, I think it was 1 year with no Europe, and then
and there was a fine.
You guys have to play you guys have to pay another like $10 million before.
Yeah, exactly. There was a fine. So I mean, I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of, anti-Juventini that are a little bit butthurt that the 1 year that we got,
it was a Conference League year.
Well, right? Conference League, but that's also due to a point deduction. If you deduct us so many points, then we're not going to be in Champions League. So it's like, we
should have given them the points back and then kicked them out of Champions League.
Yeah, exactly. If you really wanted us to suffer, you should have done that.
Well, who's we? Napoli didn't do anything. Serie A did that.
Well, I mean, the collective of
FIGC did that. Anyway, I don't agree with ADL what he said. I would rather earn the Club World Cup, even in only the 2 years that we were in the Champions League. If in 2 seasons Napoli can overtake Juventus, who spent 3 prior to this one, right, in the Champions League, then I would much rather take it that way instead of Juve.
What is it, on club coefficient? Is that the deal?
It's so it's a different club coefficient, though, because the normal club coefficient.
I haven't been paying attention to the Club World Cup.
I'll tell you right now.
At all.
Ready? I'll tell you right now. Normal club coefficients go 5-year average, including this one, right? So like the previous 4 years plus this season's average, right? That's where your coefficient ends up in, right? The Club World Cup only counts the 4 seasons prior to the actual Club World Cup tournament. So from this season back another 4. So it's the past 3 seasons plus this season that will get you into the Club World Cup. So overall, Juventus has a higher club coefficient in the rankings for UEFA. But now in this, it's over the past 4 seasons. So them missing this season gives them no points. Napoli keep on collecting points as they go.
Right, but you weren't in the Champions League for one of those years, though.
We weren't in for both of those years, actually, because last season was the first Champions League season since COVID.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But you don't accrue points just from the Champions League. It's all European.
Yes, it's only from the Champions League. Yes.
Oh, it's only from the Champions League.
It's only from the Champions League.
Champions League matches. Now the European coefficient, the actual club coefficients all the European games count, right? So basically they have league coefficients and club coefficients, right? So the reason why Italy are top of the league coefficients is because up until now we had all 7 teams still in. We all really performed well. Even Milan, like last season, Juve dropped out of the Champions League. Milan dropped out of the Champions League, but they went into Europa League, right? So they did not knocked out of competition. So that goes by points obtained I think it's like 2 points a win for every team in the league, but then it gets divided by how many teams started in the competition. So it divides by 7. So Italy have 15 something point. Actually, I think I have it right here. But Italy lead in first place, Germany in second, and England behind Germany. I'll show you right now. Okay, so Italy have 15.571. Germany in second with 14.929. They gained a few today because Bayern beat Lazio out. And then England in third with 13.875. And France in fourth, 13.75. Spain in fifth, 13.18. But France really don't have a chance because they only have 3 more teams in. And Spain only have 4. So it's really between Italy, Germany, and England. But the chance for Italy to have 5 teams is like 92% or something like that because it's top 2. So there's that coefficient, but then the Club World Cup, like I said, is for the 4 seasons. So basically, what Napoli need is to qualify for the quarterfinal, right, and then win a game in the quarterfinal. Now they don't necessarily need to win in the quarterfinal to make it to the semifinal. They just need to win one of the legs in a quarterfinal. And that ties Juventus for the points. And I think because of the fact that Juve aren't playing this year and haven't accrued any points, the tie would go to Napoli because Napoli are getting points this season.
I was going to say, from what I understand from the people that I have talked to, if you win this game in Barcelona, it's basically a lock.
It's not true, because if we win the game against Barcelona, we'll accrue 2 points for the win and then 1 to qualify for the next round. So 3 altogether, but we'd still be 2 points behind Juventus. So we have to win a game. So you guys are still in it. If Napoli qualify, you can tell all your friends that, hey, don't worry about this Barcelona game. If Napoli beat Barcelona, they still have to win in one of the legs. And then, again, we could lose bad in the first leg, but then narrowly win in the second, and we got the points. So there's that. But how do you feel about this new format of the Club World Cup? By the way, guys, UEFA is still doing the current format of the Club World Cup every year, but they're renaming it the Intercontinental Cup. So no matter what.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So you have
because the Club World Cup we're talking about is the one that's going to be in the U.S.
The Club World Cup we're talking about is the one in the U.S. Yes, correct.
Because it's going to be next summer of 25.
Yeah,
right.
You remember how the Confederations Cup used to be like a precursor to the World Cup?
Yeah. So now they're doing the Club World Cup instead.
This is now going to be
thank God, because the fucking Confederations Cup is terrible.
Well, yeah, but that was gone a while ago. But I think the concept of getting some sort of a tournament the summer before World Cup in the venue,
this preseason tournament's a much better idea, by the way. The clubs can be in the training camps, blah 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 blah.
Oh, for sure.
We have a lot of great clubs in the States. It's a good way to grow the game here.
I'm so amped for it.
Yeah, it's going to be great for any of the Serie A teams that are going to be over here. Obviously, it would be awesome for us if Napoli were back. Last time Napoli were in the States, me and Raffa had a really great time. So I hope it happens again.
Do you guys get ticket benefits with your Tri-State Napoli club or no?
No, so the club is fairly new. We haven't really established any contact with Napoli because they're very difficult to talk to. But when Ken, Marco, and I were Far From Vesuvius, when we first started Far From Vesuvius after our Sempre days, we were able to get one of these bad boys for the. For the Barcelona-Napoli game. Where's yours?
Mine's not far. Mine's right here.
I hate, dude. I love how you keep your media tag close like I do.
It's on my pegboard at my desk. Yeah,
that is probably the highlight of all of this. Aside from
for sure, it was the best weekend. It was the best weekend One of the best weekends ever. It was so great.
We got to interview Ancelotti and Insigne. We got to interview De Jong.
Goulam.
Who else? Goulam. Luberto. The manager for, I think it was Valverde at the time, right? Valverde? Yeah.
Yep.
We got to watch him practice. Oh, we
got to be on the field. Yeah, it was really cool.
Press box first half. Second half, we sat with the fans. We lost 4-0. It was a beatdown. Milik was injured. Milik got injured. Actually, it's funny because like 10 minutes before the game, people are passing out papers with the updated lineup. Milik is out, and we're like, "What the fuck is going on, Milik?" Oh, it was so dope. We got to say happy birthday to Eunice. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, that was in Miami. I'm sorry, that was in
Miami. We had a big party. It was great. We had a big party.
We had a huge party. IFTV came out. Oh yeah,
it was great. It was a really good weekend.
So yeah, the answer is no. We don't have contact with Napoli, but we did as far from Vesuvius. Far from Vesuvius did for that.
That's cool.
And then they went silent. I think they asked us one other thing. Like they asked us to do videos during COVID, and I sent it to them, and they never used.
Never did anything.
But like as a club, if Napoli were to come to the States, you don't have like special ticket priority for like your club though. It's like you're gonna be like on Ticketmaster, like, you know, in the trenches basically.
So we tried doing something for the Italy game coming to Jersey, but the fact that it was an Ecuador home game stopped us from being able to sort of chat with, you know, the Federation or Red Bull Arena to try to get like a block of tickets, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we couldn't get a block, but
yeah, we tried getting a block. We even have a connect in there, and we couldn't. So it was tough.
Yeah,
So we were basically telling all of our like club members, "Hey, try to get into 104 or 105. Try to get into there." So we just did. We just had to do that. But no, I mean, I would love for like someone at Napoli to be like, "Hey guys, we see that you're all doing clubs and shit. Like, let's do something."
Yeah.
I would assume you guys have set up with Juventus. I'm, you know, a Juventus official fan club. Like,
yeah, no, it's a very official and organized type of system with a portal and ticket requests and stuff like that.
That's
so
dope.
Which is, you know, hopefully it carries over into the States if we make it to the Club World Cup. I don't really know how it's going to work.
Yeah, that might be run by UEFA or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
FIFA. If it's run by UEFA, it's fine because we have the same ticket request system for like Europa League, Conference League, Champions League. It's like if it's run by like, you know, whatever American corporation, then, you know, we're gonna have trouble getting.
So your club members are able to get priority tickets for European competitions in Europe at the J.
European competitions, home and away.
Really?
Yep, home and away. Only European competitions, home and away, not City A, not away City A matches. Obviously, home City A is fine, but away City A.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
No, because typically what happens is that like Juventus kind of, I guess, purchases a block of the tickets in the away section for the European matches, and then like resells
to various clubs.
Yeah. Well, no, they resell to their members. Like, you know, if they put it up on.
But in Serie A, you basically have to buy it.
Exactly. No. Exactly. Sure. No, Serie A, they're not buying anything out.
No.
So it's really great because
that's really cool.
But you know, we pay into it. So
yeah. Yeah, in Naples there's a couple of different groups that like you pay a certain amount a year and you get like your club banner hanging at the Maradona, which we have that for. There's this one club, it was only like $20. That's it. $20. We send it to them. They print out our logo on a banner and they hang it like on
That's cool.
one of the things, which is dope. And that's really it for now. I think they do help us, like they do assist getting tickets in for games, essentially kind of what Michele does, right, Ken? I think that might be available where they'll help facilitate if a club member's coming to the Maradona to help them get a ticket. But I use Michele because he's a friend of ours. He's got a show on this network, and he's actually really cool, as much as we tell him to go F off all day, but he's really cool.
He's a good guy.
I have so much more to say, but we've been on here so long. There's really not much else I can think of. Barcelona, I guess we talked about our chances there. Dan's been quiet lately.
I've just been letting you guys rock, to be honest.
No, I hear it. But I guess we'll put a bow on this episode. Kenny, you can plug yourself, even though we have a link tree now and you're on it. So
I mean,
plug away.
Listen, anything you guys want to do, you follow Raffa, follow the podcast, Hall of Far from Vesuvius. You can follow me if you want at K_Cioffredi, CIOFFREDI. I'm mostly now just doing like quick hits on Twitter and just helping with some behind the scenes stuff. But it is nice to be back in your eardrums.
It's nice to have you back, Ken. It really
but
is.
Really, I would like to just not take any more time and let Marcella plug her stuff.
Please, Marcella.
No stuff to plug. Thank you guys for having me on. It's been a pleasure. Obviously, I wish the results of the game went a different way, but we got some good banter in there.
A lot of respect for coming on after a loss, by the way.
Yeah, man.
Lots of people would have canceled for sure.
No, I got a lot of quick whips in my pocket. I was ready for anything that you guys were gonna come at me with. But honestly, it's like, what's there to say? I think we played a hard fought game. I think it was a great game. If it would have been like a total wash, then maybe I would have been like, maybe next time, guys. But it was a pretty even game. It really came down to luck of who put their chances through, but otherwise I really can't say we played a bad game.
Right.
But thanks again for having me on. It was great to meet you guys, and hopefully we'll do it again sometime.
It was great to meet you too. Thank you so much. Best of luck to you the rest of the way, and I mean that as only being a friend of yours and not seriously wishing them luck.
Thank you, Raph. Well, good luck against Torino. Good luck against Torino, but I don't really know if I want to wish you luck against Barcelona.
True. Oh yeah, Napoli or Torino. Who do you want?
The Meteor. I don't know.
But there's no rivalry, by the way. It only goes one way.
That's right.
What do you mean there's no rivalry?
That's what I heard.
No, that's what Juventini like to say about Napoli Juve.
I mean, I think that it's probably a generational rivalry. What do you mean? I wouldn't necessarily agree with. I don't think I would necessarily.
No, I'm not saying you. It's just that's what you read on Twitter.
Marcella, do you view Napoli as a main rival of yours? Obviously, there's Inter. Obviously, there's Fiorentina.
Are you talking about generationally, or are you talking of all time?
No, I'm talking
generationally. Well, it's got to be generational.
It's generational. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I have one main rival. I want to see Inter lose every single day of the week.
Understand?
I mean, honestly, I get that. It's funny because it's like, yeah, Milan's a rival, but it's not we don't play a derby against Milan. We play a derby against Inter. It's like, what I mean? It's like Torino's our rival and Inter's our rival. That's really all I kind of have to say on that. Obviously, the Napoli game is, a game that I look forward to because it's generationally been a great game. But, I think Napolitani like to think it's a rival because, you got some beef with our Calabrese fans and Sicilian fans out there, which I am both, so.
Am I missing something here? Does Juventus not play this weekend? What's going on here?
No, we play. We play Atalanta on Sunday.
Oh, that's right. I'm not seeing it on my...
They changed the game. It was originally supposed to be Saturday, and then they changed it randomly to Sunday.
That's why I'm not seeing it here. Are there only 2 games on Sunday, though? What's going on here?
I'm not sure. But they definitely changed it. They definitely changed our game. I thought it was supposed to be on Saturday, and now it's on Sunday.
Napoli-Torino is Friday. Saturday is Cagliari.
Yeah. Sunday at 1 o'clock, yeah.
Sunday at 1 o'clock, okay. Bologna-Inter. Oh, that's going to be a juicy one right there.
Listen, now the top of the table is set. The top 3 teams are set. Now I want all of the teams directly ahead of us to lose. So this week it's Forza Inter, and I'll never say it, but I want Atalanta to lose. So. And Fiorentina and Roma to draw. Let's go.
I'll take a Atalanta loss. Why not?
Big Atalanta loss weekend coming.
All right, you guys. In the Shadow of Vesuvio is coming your way this week. If these guys ever figure out a time to record, I think they're recording tomorrow, Wednesday. By the way, it is Tuesday night here. And also look for Cubani with SSC Napoli bets. And look out for another few surprises that I have up in my sleeve here. I think we're gonna have a lot more Napoli content on this podcast network coming up. A lot more content, period. Anyway, but Marcella, we invite you back anytime you want. You're an Azzurri fan, I'm sure, right?
We'll see you March 24th.
You'll be there.
Of course, I will with bells
with
on.
The club.
You'll catch with the club, and you'll catch me with my blue hair, like I rocked for the Euro.
I'll be at the Euros this year as well, by the way.
You will be
very nice.
Oh, Kenny, are you coming down for the Italy game or no?
No.
Come on, man.
I know. Listen, it's
Danny. Did you get your tickets yet?
Nah, man, it's too much. Way too much. Crazy. We waited too long, and it's just like what is it?
Sounds like Ando.
We waited like 30 Ando minutes to get the tickets.
Bro, you guys think it's bad, right? You guys think it's bad. Ando is in our Fanta Calcio, and we called him Auto Draft FC this year.
Forget it, bro.
He was the one that advocated for the time and the day, and then he didn't show up.
Oh, this sounds familiar.
Yeah, didn't show up.
So this sounds like FIFA Pro Clubs.
Trying to get that guy in Pro Clubs. Hey, me too. I can't even say anything. I've been.
No, you show up though, even if you're late.
I do show up.
No, but and at least he does show up, and I not.
Raffa.
Everyone they're coming. Lately,
Damn.
I've got a bad. Listen, tonight I'm good. If you guys are good.
Oh really?
You gotta check the chat.
I shouldn't have said that. I still have to edit this, put it out. I'm screwed. Marcella, I tell these guys, especially the last 3-4 nights, yeah, guys, I'm ready. I'm coming. And then I get ready. I literally
we're in the lobby. This guy is nowhere.
Dude, I had the PlayStation Portal in my hands last night with my headset ready. I was charging the headset, waiting for you guys to come on, and on the couch, and I woke up at like 12:30 in the morning, like. Oh shit! I missed it, and I had my.
You didn't miss it though. We were still on. We were still chugging along.
No, I saw that, but I was
all night. We got rocked all night last night.
You did, huh?
Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad run again.
All right, you guys. Friday, Napoli-Torino. I'll try to come in for a post-match. Danny, I don't know if you're able to, but I'll come in. Ken, let me know what you're doing. Maybe we'll have you on. Again, Marcella would love to have you on anytime. Hit me up. We'll meet up on the 24th. And during the Euros, we're probably going to do something too. So let me know, like, if you're down to come in, talk some Azzurri. And Forza Napoli.
Sempre.
I'm glad Marcella didn't say mine.
I just abstained.
Smile.
Just abstained.
Thank you. Ciao.
Ciao.
a te